Hi folks, and welcome backstage at Tamron at the CP Plus booth here at CP Plus 2025. That's all a big mouthful. Thank you so much today for Kota and Eri for joining me to ask a few questions for you guys about the current range. Now, I speak no Japanese and they're pretty good at English, but we might need to take a few moments here, and Eri's here to help translate if needed. So we'll just have a chat and hopefully it all comes across nicely. So I will just fire away with my first question and pass you the mic. I know Kota already has some answers prepared, so we've been chatting back and forth on this, but let's just see how the chat goes. So basically, I find it interesting. I've been using Tamron lenses for, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 years now. And a lot of the lenses I was using in DSLR time were Tamron lenses. And for us as users and for camera makers, we often think about the change from DSLR to mirrorless was a really big, significant change. But I don't think we talk that much about the impact it has, or how big of a change it was for lens manufacturers as well, because now you're making lenses for both. So actually the number of products you're making is so many more. So I guess the short question is, you had so many different great lenses for DSLR and there's more and more coming for mirrorless. How do you decide what you're going to bring out to mirrorless, and is the process different for mirrorless?
Okay.
Thank you again.
So we entered the mirrorless market in earnest in 2018 with the release of the 28 to 55 millimeter f2.8 lens. Since mirrorless camera more compact and lightweight compared to DSLRs, we developed our lenses with the same concept in mind. As a result, despite the unique specifications, the lens was very well received and it became a hit product. Building on this success, we revised our product strategy for mirrorless lenses. Instead of simply developing standard spec products, as we did in the DSLR lenses, we shifted our focus to planning and developing unique lenses with clear concept based on customers' feedback. Now our strategy is rather than just converting DSLR lenses. So we every time thinking a new concept of mirrorless lenses. So sometimes maybe similar standard lenses we will release, but it's depend based on customers' needs. So this is our strategy. So.
Makes sense. Thank you so much. No, please don't be sorry. Like I said, I speak zero Japanese, so if you get stuck, just switch to Japanese and I'll nod and smile and I'll put Google Translate on the screen. That's really interesting actually, because I think a lot of people, we did expect the lenses would be just so easy to adapt. Well, of course you can get, for example, I'm a Nikon shooter, so you can get the lenses you made for F-mount, get the adapter, use them on your Z camera, and actually the results are pretty great. The new camera's focus is so much better that even via adapter, I find the results are better on mirrorless than they were on DSLR, in terms of focus anyway. But I think we sometimes thought that it would just be you change the mount, you make it longer, and then that's the end. But actually, it's a whole new product that you have to design. So that's quite interesting. Now, I know you probably can't talk about other brands at all, so general question. I'm quite interested in the lenses being released for Nikon, and very happy to see you have the new 90mm macro lens. In general, it seems brands for mirrorless are maybe less open to having lenses come out that directly compete with their own lenses. So in the past, every brand will have for example, a 24-70 and a 50mm and an 85mm, but Tamron also had lenses are competed with them, and sometimes multiple standard prime lenses that we still had for Nikon. How does that factor in now that it seems from an outside perspective that the camera companies maybe are putting some limit on what lenses you can release? Does that factor in? Do you have to start with like what we're allowed or what we're able to make, and then design within that?
Okay. So no any regulations. Basically, when we plan new products, then we see the market, and also we see customers' needs, and we decide which lenses we create. So there are no how can I say limitations. What that you said.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I'm not hoping to get a surprise, leaking information or something, but does that mean potentially we could see things like 50 and 85 or 24 to 70 or 70 to 200 coming for mirrorless in the future, do you think? Or you're focusing on products that fill gaps that aren't currently being made?
Our basic strategy is we create unique lenses for customers, because we would like to we would like to give our customers another options, because each user has their own shooting style. So we hope if we make new products, then if we give them new options, then that is one of our new products planning strategy. But of course, some people I know may some lenses is very popular, and if customers want the lens camera manufacturers lenses same as so basic specifications lens. Of course, we will plan. There are possibility to create this kind of.
Great. Thank you. I'm not trying to give you difficult questions. I'm being quite selfish, because I liked to see when you had multiple from different companies making the same product. For me and my audience, some lenses are so expensive now that having something that was still very, very good, but at a better price point, or maybe lighter, or there was still some variation. If you get all the 24 to 70s, there's still some differences. Maybe this one is best at 70, this one is best at 24, this one is lighter, this one is cheaper, this one is super duper expensive, but still having a lot of options is good. So whilst I think having the unique options from Tamron is so nice, like you have a 105 from the manufacturer, but then you have the 90 from you guys, and things like the 35 to 150 that no one else is making is great to have. Eventually, and I know, you can't make 100 lenses a year, 100 new models per year, so we're always going to ask more than is possible, but I hope one day we'll see these standard lenses coming for mirrorless as well. Speaking of, I saw you showed me earlier the 11 to 20, isn't it? The new Canon autofocus lens. Is that the first autofocus you're making for RF? And can you tell me a bit about the lens, and maybe will we see more for the RF mount coming?
So yes, we would like to increase the number of RF mounts, so you can look forward it.
That's the short and exciting answer that Canon users want. Great, thank you. And then maybe it's going to be just as short of a question as well. I did send some prepared questions. Also, really great to see the new 90mm. I haven't tested it out before, but the DSLR one was one of my favorites. Likewise, are we likely to see some more options coming for Z mount soon?
So, as I mentioned earlier, we do intend to simply adapt DSLR lenses for mirrorless use. Instead, we aim to listen to users' feedback and plan and release new product accordingly. Additionally, we plan to expand our lineup of E-mount and E-mount lenses to the Z-mount as well. By the way, are there any F-mount lenses that you would like to see adapt for mirrorless lenses?
Oh, nice. I sent you questions. You didn't send me your questions. Well, I mean, there doesn't need to be the same specification, but the ultra wide angle zoom that you had in the past, I think it was wider at the wide end than the Nikon version, and Canon was something similar. For me, and I think for my audience, I do think the 70-200, your G2 DSLR lens was just like a winner. It was great weight. The size and weight was really good. The price was, I can't remember exactly, but maybe around 50 or 60% of the other brand equivalents, and optically was really, really good. So personally, I would like to see both of them. I also think it's quite interesting what you said, that mirrorless lenses, your focus has been to make them, small and light and compatible with the bodies. That so many standard, we used to talk about nifty 50, that 50mm was a nice little lens. The 1.4 maybe $500, the 1.8 was like $200. Now 50mm lenses are Godzilla size and cost $2,000. I think if there was some really good 50mm 1.8, 1.4s that can be smaller, lighter, and cheaper, then I think they'll be really, really popular, because I own them, but a $2,000 50mm 1.2 that's this big on a camera that's this big, I don't know, it's a bit ridiculous. I won't expect an answer in return to that one. The other one I wanted to ask you about was the new utility app. So you showed me a little bit on the stand. Can you tell me who's that's designed to be using it, and basically a little bit about it, what platforms it works on and how we can use it?
For design, is that what you're asking about the concept?
For videographers or photographers. So design, who do you think is going to be using it?
So we think our main target would be videographers and also photographers, because Tamron lens utility has, for example, astrofocus functions. So this function is for astrophotographers. So when they take astrophotography, then they have to fix the infinity first. So, but if our astrofocus functions just click and then move to infinity. So mainly we think our main target would be videographer, but also for some functions is very useful for photographer as well.
Now, in the background, I can hear Godzilla going crazy, I think, or some music, so maybe it's a perfect time. I got some footage of it, but could you tell us a little bit of how videographers can use it and what functions it offers?
So to assist when videographer taking a video, then they use manual focusing mainly. So to assist with manual focus, mechanical or wireless follow focus system are often used. But this system physically rotate the focus ring by attaching a gear to the lens. But this setup can sometimes lead to optical axis misalignment due to the loose mount or gaps or instability in the camera lag. So this Tamron lens utility offering solution that enable free and precise manual focus control without directly touching the lens. So we don't need follow focus systems. So I think our Tamron lens utility is very useful for videographers.
Great. Thank you. That's actually a great point. I hadn't thought of that. When I was looking at it, I thought it's just useful you can remember the different points and have it move to them. Actually, whether you're using an adapted photography lens or a dedicated video lens, unless you're using, I find this for myself, so unless I'm using the heaviest duty tripods and like a fully professional rig, it's so hard to get a smooth focus pull without introducing wobble because you're touching the camera or anyway, just trying to do a smooth focus pull, unless it's a cine lens that gives you some kind of a control. But even those lenses, you then need to touch the lens, and that can introduce a little bit of wobble to your shot. I so often am trying to film a nice close-up on something and find that parts through the shot aren't stable. So I hadn't really thought of that. That's a big advantage of it being a focus by wire, that you can control it remotely, whereas a dedicated cinema lens that's like manual focus, what do you call that? It's all mechanical, not focused by wire. You just have to be touching it. So that's quite interesting. One question though, any plan for it to come for iPhone?
Yes, we are now planning to Tamron lens utility for iPhone.
Great. Excellent. Thank you. And the last question I have, which was not on the press sheet, but I know that your friend has the answer to this one. Can you tell us a bit about the display that you have outside? It's maybe the coolest one I saw with the giant Godzillas. Yeah. Maybe I know you have a good answer.
Well, our booth concept was the priority is to enjoy visitors, so that they can enjoy just shooting itself. So 2 years ago, we displayed festival ornament, really popular and big festival ornament called Nebuta, which is held in Aomori, where our factory in Japan is located. And last year, we collaborated with BMW, and we displayed 2 cars of BMW and mini racing. And so this year, since we have Godzilla is very popular worldwide, not just Japan, and also we have a concept that we need to produce a conventional thinking product, conventional zoom range or specification of the lens. And Godzilla, they destroy things, cities, things. So that was something we thought that we have a common. Common concept. So that's why this year we decided to collaborate with Godzilla. And we see so many people are enjoying shooting Godzillas, and not just people interested in our product, but also we see Godzilla friends coming to our booth. So we think that's really a good opportunity to show our product to new customers this time.
Can you just tell us about the actual Godzilla statues? What you were telling me before about?
The statue displayed on the stage, that's the actual costume used for film shooting of Godzilla. So the height is about 2 meters. So unfortunately, this time no one is inside. I think.
If you had someone there like every hour, they just,
Yeah, maybe it's silently movie, so you have to wait, keep watching. But yeah, and also the city displays that was built for 2 days by Toho company. So they brought everything was not set up. So they brought all these small pieces here, and then they put the old dust on the roof of the houses, and then made a destruction of the building one by one. So, and also the display, normally when you see the Godzilla display in the other places, it's built for people seeing only from the front side or side view. But this stage, you can look the Godzilla from 360 degrees. So it's really rare that you can see the backside of the Godzilla. So we want visitors to see the Godzilla from all different degrees so that they can enjoy. This is a really rare opportunity.
Great. Thank you so much. You are good influencer.
Yeah, she's very good at promoting the company message. We'll end it there. Thank you both so much for your time. I appreciate you making the effort to speak to my audience who in English when that's maybe a little bit less comfortable for you. So thank you for taking the time to plan your answers, and don't worry if I'll cut out all of my long questions and then any pauses that we need to make it flow nice and smooth. If you're heading to CP Plus 2025, make sure you stop by the Tamron booth and check out the great display, the new 11 to 20, as well as the app and the new 90mm lens. Thanks, folks. Let me know what else you'd like to see.